day and welcome to this meditation experience. And we're going to go in a very unusual direction today. Uh, this idea of gentle breath work. And I know that sounds like we're going to spend 15 minutes breathing together. And we are, but not the type of breathing you think. But first, perhaps we'll start with physical breath. Now, I've had to take a session or two on the physical breath of the body, and it's really quite fascinating. In terms of healthy, I would say most of us are not breathing properly. It's very shallow. When we're sitting at the computer, if you watch yourself, you start to do this, and you're actually closing up the diaphragm, crushing a few other organs along the way. So it's very difficult to take a breath when we're all concave like that. So there's very shallow breathing, not full use of the apparatus of breath, the diaphragm. And the one that interests you the most is it's been said that a healthy breath, something like 12 breaths in a minute, very, very low. We breathe almost like infants. They take a ridiculous number of breaths in a minute, which they have to, given their apparatus is so tiny. But we're really not fully maximizing the intake of oxygen and the release of course, that carbon. So physically, it's not going well. And the breath we're going to look at, which is internally of the mind, probably even worse. So let's see if we can, maybe not too much the physical breath. I'll leave that to you to sort out. But it's really not a case of heavy laborious, where people take this huge inhale that people on the other side of the world can hear. That's not healthy breath. It's actually quite gentle, but it is full use expansion of the diaphragm. So that's something you can explore on your own. But we'll sort of start there, and then we'll immediately move into the gentle breath work of the mind. So sitting tall, sitting in a very engaged way. So the front of the body is more open without any violence. So it could help just by leaning the body back, resting the body back fully onto the back of the chair can help to open up the front of the body. And in this moment, being very aware of the breath. My lungs are not in my abdomen, my stomach, they're above the diaphragm. That's where the movement needs to happen. As I take a breath in, a gentle breath in, should feel the ribs extending to the side, the front of the body gently ballooning as the diaphragm expands to breathe in oxygen, and then a very, very slow exhale, completely emptying the lungs. And again, a deep breath in does not need to be violent, gentle, expanding the diaphragm, feeling the ribs expand, balloon to the side, even into the back, and then that slow, long release of air from the lungs, fully nourishing the body and releasing the body from what it no longer needs. Now I turn to my mind and let my mind follow this physical breath of the body, as if my mind is riding the wave of the breath. Mind following that inhale, that gentle expansion, and then my mind following that slow exhale, as if my mind is trying to match the activity of the physical breath, as the physical lungs work to breathe in, feeling my own mind expanding, ballooning, opening, and then the slow exhale, feeling my mind letting go, releasing. Now I just focus on the mind, the breath of the mind, and the mind expanding, inhaling, breathing in gentleness, very gentle, subtle feelings filling the space of my mind. And when the mind lets go of any harshness, any violence, exhale. And again, the mind breathing in the gentle breath, drawing it deep into the mind, feeling how it smooths out any rough edges of the mind, and then letting go the impatience, the anxiety, the frustration, all those rough edges release with the exhale. And again, breathing in that oxygen of gentleness into the mind, feeling how it fills the mind with all the shades of gentleness, very subtle, very forgiving, very patient. All those vibrations filling the space of my mind. And then the exhale. Any tightness, rigidity, labor, release. And now as my mind breathes in that gentle oxygen, it comes with peace, with lightness, with love. All those nutrients naturally carry in the oxygen of gentleness, all for the sun. Breathing that deep into the mind. And then slowly releasing. any heaviness in the mind, any lack of forgiveness, especially for the self, letting go. And taking a moment to check in on the state of my mind as it breathes this gentle oxygen. And how much healthier the mind becomes, a state of well-being, filling the space of the mind, naturally changing the quality of my thoughts, where before there might be doubts, there's now trust. Where before there was impatience, there's now a respect for timing. Where before there might have been blame or judgment, there's now a depth of maturity and understanding. Nothing had to change outside. I just had to give my mind a chance to catch its breath. Practice gentle breathing, filling up with the oxygen of gentle feelings. And naturally, the mind is transformed. Let me practice gentle breath over and over until it becomes natural breath of the mind. Just as I might practice with the body, let me practice breathing this way with my mind. I, the being, the soul, the keeper of my mind, caring for my mind through this training in gentle breathing. Whenever I find my mind becoming short of breath, shallow in breath, losing its breath, or violent in breath, let me stop and reset, returning to this gentle breath. It takes just a second that could change the entire rest of my day. Reset the breath, transform the mind, restore well-being, completely uplift my own day. Om Shanti. Thank you for joining us in this experiment on gentle breath work for the mind. Om Shanti.